Investigations, alerts, breaking news.
Local high school team aims to help one of its own. What they're doing for a player that is now fighting for her life.
Bakersfield residents fight to keep their peace in the neighborhood. How they sound off about a nearby freeway and new developments in their battle.
And splitting California, the latest on a separation that may have some wanting to mark their territory.
Broadcasting live in high definition. This is KBAK Eyewitness News at 6.
A car wash being held tonight for Stockdale High School softball player Alexis Rodriguez, who is suffering from 2 blood clots in her brain.
Reporter Mimi Alcala is live with more on how teammates and coaches are coming together for one of their own. Mimi?
Guys, Alexis's teammates, friends, and several other members of Bakersfield's softball community are all out here braving the heat, washing cars to help support Alexis and help her family pay for some of her medical bills. Now, she was transported to the hospital a couple of weeks ago after several complaints of bad migraines. While there, doctors discovered that she had 2 blood clots in her brain. She was then airlifted to Madera's Children's Hospital, and from there she was moved to UC San Francisco's Medical Center. She's home now, but her softball coach, Amanda Hockett, says she still has a long road to recovery.
And she's still just dealing with the repercussions of, being tired and all that stuff of being in the hospital and them keeping her up all hours of the night doing different tests and stuff like that. I think it's amazing to have my team come together, but it's not only just my team. This is the community of Bakersfield and softball.
And the car wash will go until 7 p.m. So if you want to come on down and get your car washed and support a local softball player, we're here at Stockdale High School. Reporting live, I'm Mimi Alcala. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Mimi.
One person killed, another hurt in a head-on crash on Maricopa Highway. The CHP says a welding truck crashed with another car on Highway 166 near Old River Road around 4 this afternoon. One person pronounced dead at the scene. Another suffered minor injuries. Unclear at this time what caused the crash. 2 people hurt in a crash today south of Bakersfield as well. CHP says a Chevy truck ran a stop sign, swerved to avoid another car, lost control and flipped over on Buena Vista near Edison Road. The driver of that truck suffered major injuries, airlifted to a hospital. His passenger was also hurt and hospitalized. Officials say alcohol may have been a factor in the crash.
More details are coming out in the case of a Bakersfield man accused of killing a woman and burning her body. Court documents show witnesses told police 30-year-old Alejandro Leon had asked them to remove the body of 31-year-old Evelyn Chuka after he had allegedly stabbed her multiple times. Neighbors say the couple had been dating and were heavy drug users. Chuka's body was found in a fire pit near a home that Leon allegedly had connections to. Leon is being held on $1 million bail.
New developments tonight in the fight to get a sound wall along one stretch of the West Side Parkway. It's a battle we've shown you since this spring. Eyewitness News reporter Carol Ferguson has the latest. Carol?
Neighbors who live near the freeway between Allen Road and Jenkins insist they need a sound wall to protect them from impacts of the new roadway. We've learned county leaders say they will get something. The new freeway will run past the homes on San Simeon Avenue. But as we've told you, officials say sound studies show a sound wall was not needed in this area. We've learned a spokesman from County Supervisor David Couch's office just sent neighborhood leaders a message saying officials have come up with a tentative agreement to provide, quote, some noise and visual protection. The spokesman says he can't provide details yet. Some neighbors who got this email say they're waiting for the next meeting that's promised. They want to hear the details. These residents are worried about noise, safety, and privacy if they don't get a sound wall like other areas have. One neighbor did not want to be identified. He says today the new road is needed, but he wants officials to do the right thing.
That it's done in a manner that any one of those members would like to have done if it was their property. And that's the highest wall, basically, that makes sense. From my point of view, I think a 14 or a 12-foot wall is fair.
We reached out to the city today, but their spokeswoman on this was not available. Again, the message from Couch's office promises a meeting soon to discuss the plan, and we'll let you know what happens next. Back to you.
It is a warm afternoon, but not excessively so. Right now, we have 95 degrees with sunshine, and the air quality has improved a little bit into the moderate range at 66. Humidity now 13%, and winds out of the northwest at 13. And temperatures in the mid-90s here pretty much throughout the South Valley. You can see temperatures up in the mountains in the 70s now after a warm afternoon. Got up to 96 degrees here in Bakersfield, 85 up on the Grapevine, 81 degrees in Tehachapi, and 103 degrees over in the Ridgecrest area, where it's currently 101. And along the coast, much cooler. That's pretty typical for June. 95 degrees right now here in Bakersfield, with temperatures and winds all in the moderate range right now. Gusts up to 31 in the Edwards Air Force Base area, and generally fair skies, just a few high clouds. Across the region, no big problems, and pretty nice evening shaping up. We'll drop down into the upper 80s by about 8 o'clock, and look for the temperatures to slip into the upper 60s first thing on Tuesday morning. Kern County mountains will be in the 70s. A bit breezy. You saw some of those gusts there. Look for the temperatures to slip into the upper 50s first thing on Tuesday morning in the Kern County mountains. And another very nice day tomorrow. In fact, the entire week is going to be quite nice. We'll tell you about that and some changes next week in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Thank you, Miles. A Bakersfield puppy has gone viral after getting himself in a very tight situation. Eyewitness News reporter Kendall Nunley live with more about a curious canine who got stuck in a very unusual place. Kendall?
Kurt, that's right. We all remember Tara the Hero Cat, the ferocious feline who made national news after saving her owner's 4-year-old son from a vicious dog bite. Now, we've got Bakersfield's newest viral pet, and this is RJ, and he's also made viral news, and he's doing a lot better today, waking up from his nap. But just this weekend, the poor little pup got his head stuck in this wheel rim right here while playing with his other 7 brothers and sisters right here in this backyard. Now I'm going to be joined right now by Megan and her daughter and another one of RJ's brothers and sisters here. Now, when did you find the puppy, and what condition was he in?
They were outside playing, and they heard him yelping and stuff, so I go and check on him, and his head just stuck in the out of the hole, and I'm like, wait, how'd you get in there? He's just trying to get himself out, and just so I tried and tried and tried to get him out, and shampoo and Vaseline, and
right. So you had to take him over to East Bakersfield Fire Station 41, and what they did next is actually what also made headlines. His photo has definitely gone viral, but it's how they got him out of the wheel rim that has made headlines.
We put some vegetable oil on the dog's neck area, and then a couple guys, one guy held the tire, another guy held the skin and the ears back, and I pushed his head through the rim of the hole of the rim. We thought at first we were going to have to cut the rim with some hydraulic tools, but we wound up wanting to use that as a last resort.
Now, all 8 puppies are up for adoption. One has already been adopted, and RJ is still up here. Now, I'll have all the details for you a little later this evening on BakersfieldNow.com. For now, that's the latest. Reporting live in East Bakersfield, Kendall Nunley, Eyewitness News.
Oh, I'm sure RJ will go fast. Thanks, Kendall.
Well, activists looking to split California into 6 separate states were out collecting signatures this weekend. Reporter Tom Murphy has more now on how realistic that proposal really is. Tom?
Courtney, we'd previously told you about that plan from a venture capitalist. He wants to divide California into 6 separate states. Today we spoke with one professor to map out that possibility.
A group looking to split California into 6 separate states spent the weekend gathering signatures.
I believe that the strength of California lies in all its different areas, and it has for a long time.
They say California has grown ungovernable and need over 800,000 signatures as they hope to get the proposal on the 2016 ballot.
It's not realistic at all.
Dr. Stanley Clark is a political science professor at Cal State Bakersfield. He says the idea works in theory.
But in principle, it could go through the House and the Senate to admit new states, and that would happen.
But Clark says the possibility of that happening is all but impossible.
Politically, the rest of the country is not willing to admit 5 other Californians into the United States Senate and the House of Representatives. It would give California 10 more votes in the Senate and at least 4 to 5 more votes in the House. Nobody in the rest of the nation is willing to do that. Why should they?
Clark did say there are some positives for the proposal.
It could be used to stimulate discussion of how we should do redistricting.
But ultimately, it's just unrealistic. Clark also notes California isn't the only state that has diversity of its own. He pointed to the differences between New York City and upstate New York.
Because California is very differentiated in some respects, large population, but so are some other states. It's something that politically the rest of the nation would not be willing to accept.
So for now, we live in California, not Central California, as the proposal would put Kern County. Clark says that's not likely to change anytime soon. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Tom. A man gets struck by lightning while doing yard work outside his Georgia home. How he describes his close call with Mother Nature.
A baby who was inside a car that was stolen at a gas station is now home safe. How a jogger stumbled upon the missing child when she least expected it.